For the second time in less than a year, Madison West High School is looking for a new athletic director.
Chuck Siles resigned this morning after just 4 months on the job. For the last 3 months, News 3 investigative reporter Adam Schrager has been looking into the conditions in which he was hired.
When Chuck Siles was hired at Madison West, he was under investigation by his former employer for allegedly lying to his superiors. He used to be the athletics director at Beloit Memorial High School. He left this summer after a student's parents complained their daughter had been unfairly targeted for a suspension after an off-campus fight where she was ticketed. While investigating that grievance, Beloit's assistant superintendent found that Mr. Siles provided, quote, inconsistent, misleading, incomplete, and false statements. On the track at Beloit Memorial High School, an athletic reputation was created. Its success mirrored that found in the classroom for Samuel Johnson's daughter.
She was expected to be first in state this year in her event. My daughter is a 4.0 student. She has never had any discipline problems at school.
But one day last spring, he says his daughter was attacked off campus by 2 other students, angry she was in an interracial relationship. This followed an incident in the school cafeteria where she had been pushed down by these same teenagers.
She just thought the next time I'm going to stand up for myself.
She received a disorderly conduct ticket, and the school's athletics code dictated she'd be suspended for her next meet. But Beloit administrators say that code hadn't always been followed by the school's athletics director, Chuck Siles.
He was picking and choosing who he wanted to punish. Certain kids would get punished harshly. Certain other kids would not be punished.
Siles vehemently denies that. But Johnson filed a grievance and had a letter from another student who also received a disorderly conduct for choking someone, and she wrote she'd never missed any meets. As the district investigated, it verified that story, even if Siles reportedly didn't help. Beloit's assistant superintendent Anthony Bonds concluded that Siles, quote, provided inconsistent, misleading, incomplete, and false statements during the investigation. Beloit wanted to give him a 1-day suspension, but he canceled a meeting with his principal and administrators and left for the Madison West job.
When you tell me that a 16-year-old kid that's been jumped by 2 other kids have to be punished, I think an adult who set an example for those kids should also be punished if he breaks the rules.
Before he was hired in Madison, Johnson called Madison administrators to share what had happened.
There's a letter from another school district explaining exactly what happened, explaining everything word for word. I would just want to make sure that you read this letter and understand what you're getting.
Only that's not what Beloit's assistant superintendent told Madison administrators when they asked about Siles. In an email to Madison West's principal, Beloit's Bonds wrote that while the district was looking into the allegations, Siles submitted his resignation. The investigation was not completed and no formal action was taken by the district. Yet Bonds' own critical report is in Siles' personnel file, even though he told News 3 because he never talked to Siles about it, quote, no final conclusion could be drawn.
This is something that happened. We can't go back and review the past, but I don't want any other parents that's working real hard to get their kid ahead to end up in this type of situation.
Samuel Johnson's daughter was being recruited by schools like Yale, Georgetown, and Columbia. He believes her future could remain compromised based on what happened.
When a kid does everything they should do, I don't think these type of things should happen.
After News 3 began asking questions about this, lawyers from the Madison School District filed their own open records request with the Beloit School District to try to learn whether Siles was honest during the hiring process. Their review of the couple hundred pages they got back was ongoing until Siles' decision this morning. Now, Chuck Siles sent me an email this morning saying that he vehemently denied any wrongdoing or mistreatment of students, but that he didn't want to be a distraction to the Madison West community, which is why he resigned. Back to you.
Adam, thank you. Siles replaced Sandy Botham as West's AD.
She was fired after allegations she mistreated students and coaches of color, as well as not seriously following up on a sexual assault allegation by a student.